Breakfast of Champions. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Mitch, an old guy in a drone. And as usual, I'm out walking in the morning, and this is kind of when I like to do my vlogging. I never considered myself a vlogger, but I guess that you could consider this this vlogging, and I'm using my little GoPro vlogging rig with the external microphone, and I'm walking next to this wall over here. And on the other side of this wall is Interstate 95, so there's a lot of noise. And we got birds this morning, and we'll see just how good the noise filter in Premiere Pro is. Anyway, today I want to talk about my first full week as an official FPV dark side kind of guy. And I will tell you that it has been a learning experience for me for a number of reasons, and one of them is I thought it would be easier for me than I've found it so far, because of all the experience I've had flying RC airplanes and helicopters. Now, the way that translates into drones is I think it's become a handicap for me as opposed to a plus. I can fly the drones line of sight with no problem. I can zip them around, and as long as I don't get disoriented, because sometimes it's hard to tell the front from the back on these things when they get any distance away from you, I have no problem. I'm so used to left being right and right being left when it's coming toward me that it's that part of it is reflex, and I can fly these things around no problem that way. Put the goggles on, whole new world. And it's something I didn't expect, because I thought it would be easier to fly these things with the goggles, because basically I'm a pilot. I know what it's like to fly from inside an airplane, but it's a big difference. Unlike in real life, you don't have all the cues, the peripheral vision, the sensations of going up and down and turning, and you basically have one input in it, and that's your eyes. And if you can hear the drone, that helps. But when you can't hear the drone, knowing how much throttle to give and when to give it is something that you have to learn, I think, on an individual drone. Because once you get used to one drone, it may not translate into another one the way it performs. So I built this what they call a racing drone, the Tyro 99, and did that on a live stream, and building these things is certainly no problem for me. That's easy. I can build them all day long, and they work, and I can fly them line of sight all day long with no nervousness, no fear, complete control, and very natural ability. But I've learned that I'm going to crash when I try to fly FPV. I'm going to crash. I'm going to bounce into the ground. I'm going to probably destroy a drone in a hot New York second. And I also learned you need a lot more room to really learn FPV than trying to fly around the house. Now, you can't fly a 5-inch race quad around your house without damaging something or killing yourself. So I went out and I thought, well, maybe get a little whoop would probably be the way to do it. And I wanted a whoop that had, you know, good cameras in it. So I ended up buying the Beta FPV 85X HD. And I figured, well, this little thing can't get me in too much trouble, and I'll take it out and do a big field. And how much trouble can I get into? Well, I did okay, and I'm going to show you the video of my first FPV flight with my Beta 85X in 10 to 15 miles an hour wind. So here goes. Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Mitch, an old guy and a drone. And this morning, I decided to come out here to this nice, big, wide open field, and I'm going to try my hand at my first FPV experience. But today, I'm going to use this, because I think it'll be a lot less dramatic than the Tyro 99 that I built, and I think that this is a Cinewhoop too, so it actually records in high definition. And so we're going to put the goggles on and we're going to go fly, and we'll see what happens. So wish me luck. Now let's power up the little whoop. Okay, so it looks like it's got the right channel, and I can see in the goggles where we're going, and that looks good. So what I want to do right now is I want to start the recording on the goggles. See it say record. Got to hold it down a couple seconds. Oh, did I leave the... Okay, I guess I don't have the SD card in the goggles, but I have the SD card in the quad. So let's go ahead. And you got to push this tiny little button in here. So push that in. And hopefully it'll say recording, and it is. So the Cinewhoop is recording. So now we're going to set this thing down somewhere where there's no grass, right here. Okay. All I see in the goggles is the sky. It's a little breezy, so here goes nothing. I'm going to sit down. It's flying. Woo-hoo. I think I'm going up a little high here. Let's come down a little bit. Here I am. Cool. Now I'm in the stabilized mode here. Whoops. Okay, went back up again. I have no idea which way I'm headed. So let's see if I can find where I am here. Flying away from me. Let's turn it around. probably better off in acro mode here. God, I'm up high. Okay, I'm going to take that because it's somewhere close to me. All I got to do is figure out where it is. There it is. Oh. I really wanted to fly through 3 or 4 packs that day, hopefully learn something, but the wind started kicking up, and by the time I got done with that first flight, it was blowing a steady 15 miles an hour, and for a small little drone like that Beta 85X, it was all I could do to get it to go forward in the wind, because I did want to fly it slowly. Not out to race quite yet. I just want to start to develop the muscle memory of how to react to the visual cues that I get through the goggles. And the goggles work great. The Viper FXT goggles work great for me because I have glasses, and I actually don't even need the cover on the bottom part that supposedly keeps the light out, because it was very nice. It's open. You can still look down and see the transmitter, but the screen is plenty bright in there. You may not get an immersive experience, but it really it really worked pretty well, and a little less claustrophobic. As I advance and get more used to it, I'll probably put that piece back on so that I can become more fully immersed in the actual experience of flying, as if I was in the drone itself. That brings up the second thing that I'm dealing with, and that is the different flight modes. There's a mixed school of thought on that. I don't know if you're aware, but there's angle mode, horizon mode, acro mode, air mode, this mode, that mode, and the other mode. And each of these things is different and requires a different kind of flying. For example, the angle mode is the easiest because the drone is self-leveling. And that means that when you let go of the sticks, while it doesn't hold position, it will level itself off. But that also means, like with the camera drones, in order to go forward, you got to continually push the stick forward, which is not the way real things fly. Real things fly like drones fly in the acro mode. And that is, you establish angles, whether it be pitch or roll. Things happen, and then you recover from that angle. And that's the way I want to fly. So while the angle mode might be easier to fly, I might develop certain habits which I then have to break. So I really intend to learn how to fly in the acro mode. But in the acro mode, hovering is very difficult because there's no self-leveling. And you basically got to be going forward, which is what you want to do. You want to be going forward as if you're flying an airplane most of the time, or all the time that you can. And to do that, I needed certain conditions. Now, I tried that during the video you just saw. But I thought that I would take somebody's advice and get cute. Where was I? Seems like everybody walking a dog or riding a bicycle this morning wants to stop and say hello to me. Don't they know I'm trying to vlog? Ah, well. I was talking about the acro mode, and that's the mode you want to be in, but learning it is difficult. So I've been wrestling, you know, with the idea of how do I want to learn this, to get used to it. Learning in the acro mode, learning in the acro mode is going to involve, I'm afraid, a lot of crashing, which is okay because the little Whoop-like drones have prop guards on them, and based on my experience with this 85X trying to fly it in the house, you can crash it a lot and not really do any damage to it. But that particular drone is a little powerful and a little fast for someone inexperienced like me to be flying around a small house like I live in. So I've gone ahead and ordered a smaller little Whoop, nothing fancy, but just something that I can practice FPV in the house and not worry about knocking things over or damaging a TV set. And that should come today, and we'll talk about that later. So that's where I am after about a week of this. I've managed to fly a couple of flights through the goggles, kept it in the air for a while, but I never felt the confidence or control that I usually feel when I'm flying an RC airplane or helicopter. And I know that just as when I learned to fly RC 50-something years ago, when you first start out, you feel like you're behind everything and all you do is react to what's happening. And at some magical point, you begin to get the feeling that you're telling the thing what to do, not just reacting to what it's doing. And I know that'll come in time. Maybe if I was 40 years younger, it'd come a little quicker. But the bottom line is, I am just enjoying the hell out of this. And this past week in Florida has been rainy and windy, so I haven't had the opportunity to go out and fly as much as I'd like. But we're supposed to have some nice weather this weekend, and I'm going to go out and see if I just can't burn up a whole bunch of batteries and finally get to the point where this stupid little thing is listening to me and I'm the boss. So with that, thanks for watching. Take the rest of the day off, everybody. Go out and play with your drones and just have a great day. Bye-bye.